Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. America, are we a third world country? I'm asking because apartment buildings are collapsing, bridges are failing, power grids are also failing, and potholes are making me spill hot coffee in my lap and stopping my ability to reproduce. For the last 4 years, we watched someone talk about infrastructure week and do nothing. Week.
Infrastructure, 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 infrastructure.
Not even a bill was introduced. Now we see America literally falling apart, yet President Joe has already gotten one bill through, and he did it with bipartisan support. 19 Republicans voted with him. Ha ha! What world are we living in?
A world of never-ending happiness. You can always see the sun. Day or night.
People, not fixing or replacing things never works, or I'd still be driving my 1983 Mitsubishi and wearing my 1983 Fruit of the Looms, tidy whities. Alrighty. And nobody wants that. We need to fix it. Roads, bridges, buildings, water. How you doing, Flint? Anything fixed yet? Turns out, yeah, politicians in Michigan say Flint has water as clean as any in Michigan. Well, that's not exactly saying the water's clean. It's just the same amount of dirty. Sounds like someone's avoiding a class action suit using semantics. Our city is as safe as any Afghanistan. So is our city safe, or is it fucking Afghanistan? Speaking of that, to all of you who worried about spending money on infrastructure and that it's a waste and we can't afford it, we spent $2 trillion in Afghanistan, and a ton of that money was spent on infrastructure in another country, while our bridges collapse. Our kids are drinking lead Kool-Aid, and students have to use Wi-Fi at the Taco Bell to do their homework. Texas lost its electrical grid because, well, Texas. But this hurricane that hit Louisiana, not the one before, or the one before, but this new one, blew out power to 1 million homes, destroyed the entire grid. We mount high power voltage lines on giant sticks. How come that doesn't last forever? Listen, investing in infrastructure and new technologies is a win-win-win. We upgrade the system, trucks deliver goods faster, and maybe if we get Amazon to pay their share of taxes, we could fix the roads that Amazon uses to make their billions and billions and billions with trucks that constantly block the fucking driveway. Jeff, if your drivers drive like they own it, you should help pay for it. Imagine when we upgrade the grid with solar, wind, and geothermal. We create millions of jobs and get oil workers and coal miners out of their crap jobs and give them new crap jobs, but out in the sun where they can smoke legal marijuana on their lunch breaks, stopping black lung and creating chill THC and CBD infused employees that are easily placated with tortilla chips. And we help reverse climate catastrophe, and the grid can't go down because you'll have your own personal grid, your house, where you fill up your car with electricity that costs less than a quarter of what filling your tank does with oil we bought from a country that wishes we were dead. We are not wasting money by rebuilding. We are investing in our country to grow an even richer country, a better economy. So then, after we've rebuilt everything, we can have better, newer Starbucks and mini malls so we can sell each other more crap we don't need that was made in China by people with better infrastructure. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Sometimes it just feels like I'm talking in circles, doesn't it? Hey everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. Holy crap. It is a news day and a half. With me as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Hylinder.
There could be only one.
There can be only one. Listen, today it's been insane. I didn't want to write an Armageddon update about the big news of today because I talked to a Bombshell about it and she's like, I don't really want to talk about that. So let's talk about that.
Well, plus I've been in a bubble, so
fill
me in. What's happening?
We're basically here to update Hylinder. That's a podcast. What's going on? I've been editing. So I guess Texas passed a law now. It got to the Supreme Court because the Supreme Court decided to not do anything. That basically, if a woman gets an abortion in Texas after 6 weeks now, anybody, bless you. Anybody, you're allergic to abortion. I like that. Anybody
or Texas
there you go. It's probably more Texas. Mm-hmm. She used to live there. She's probably allergic to Texas now. Yeah, sometimes you eat too much of that food, you get allergic to it. That's what happened with Texas.
Yes.
We should start over. Anyway, so what happened is that now if you get an abortion, the government, anybody can sue you So instead of making it a criminal offense to get an abortion, they made it a civil offense. The lowest number they can sue you for is $10,000. If you lose, you have to pay them $10,000 and their legal fees. So I just want to point out to Texas that the bounty on babies is $10,000. So maybe we could set up like maybe a hunting lodge or something. You pay $10,000.
It's anyone.
You get because you foster kids.
They're hard to catch.
Babies are hard to catch. Yeah, hard to catch.
You really got.
But you realize that they're saying that babies are precious. They're gold and they're Jesus, and then they put a number on it.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
that's
$10,000. Yeah, in Texas, I get no man, $10,000 for a kid. Shit. I mean, that's what they did. They basically put a bounty on children.
Costs as much as my
Thoughts?
raffle. Legal Beagle. Can you just sue anyone in civil for anything?
They've opened it up so that anyone could sue. You could sue from California. You could sue a lady. You could sue someone you thought helped her, like, the counselor that she saw. You can sue.
So our buddy Hal Sparks said something. I was just reading on Twitter. He said something that interests me in your legal mind. He said that, okay, so if there's a mask mandate or whatever, or you're not wearing a mask and someone gets COVID because of you, and they die, anybody could sue you now. Doesn't this precedent open it up?
Right. You can sue anybody for anything.
Yeah. Except try and get Abbott to sign anything that has anything to do with COVID.
I just don't get, about the COVID thing, number one, I don't understand why these people don't want to protect themselves. It's pretty clear.
Yeah.
With how many, again, there's so many openings in conservative radio right now for guys that said COVID was a hoax or the vaccine was poison, that there will be no conservative radio if we keep going.
I also don't get parents. Whatever happened to like overprotective, your kids have to wear their, helmets and they've got to
the needle's really swung back.
It's totally different. I was even talking to someone at my dermatologist's office yesterday and she's...
Hi, welcome to White Lady Sentences. Go ahead.
A lot of people go to the dermatologist for their skin.
Not that look like you.
What?
Do you just go in and they're just like amazing?
She's
come back.
She's also the after picture. They go. We just want to show.
Example.
She just shows up so they can go. This is what you could look like.
Show a picture. Yeah.
She doesn't go to get work done.
Ray just pops in.
She walks into the room and they go. You could look like this, and they sign up. Ray's basically you're the closer. You're the closer. You're
the
walking
fact
billboard.
that you think that a dermatologist is only to make people pretty shows how LA you are. They do skin. They're doctors that acne, rosacea, melanoma. Melasma. Okay, you're in that mood today.
A lot of omas.
I'm in that mood. You couldn't even join the joke. You were like, let me tell you something about you don't know about her.
I still want to finish my sentence. I still haven't finished the sentence I started. I was at the dermatologist's office yesterday, and the girl is a mother, and she lives in LA, and you would think, it's a medical office. They wear masks in the office.
She gets it.
It. And she's very upset that they're making her son wear a mask at school. She doesn't think it's fair for children, that it's uncomfortable. They can't breathe. It's very hard for her son.
That is such bullshit. Okay. My son comes home and he's like...
This is going to be one of those days, isn't it, between the two of you?
That is some fucking bullshit. My son, they don't even remember they have a mask on. Mm-hmm. They don't... It's barely anything.
Somebody said something. Were you telling me this?
What?
That showed, a friend of ours, their parents are really right wing, and they from El Salvador, and the fathers wouldn't wear masks, so the son put on the mask, and he took a match and he went, and he couldn't blow it out.
It was a lighter. It's Ashley Cashman's husband's family, and she told me this last night that to show his father, he put on a mask and tried to blow out a flame on a lighter. And that kind of drove it home for his dad. Also, side note, Ashley Cashman is teaching her cat to use the toilet like Jinx on Meet the Parents. And if you want that picture to insert here.
There it is.
It's trippy. It's a toilet in the garage, new house, she's practicing, and you get this litter panel thing. And then as they start to use the litter box in the top of the toilet, you remove the center ring. So there's an open space. And then once they get used to that, you remove the second ring so that eventually they're used to there being an open space there.
So this is a thing.
I thought.
Then she brings the cat inside. A guy patented it, and she, of course, Ashley's pulling it off.
Now that's white women problems.
How do we teach these idiots?
She don't want
How do we
litter
teach our
boxes in her
idiots?
house. Ours go in the shower.
Tell you
That's
what, I'll
pretty
use
good.
it first, and then we'll move on to the dogs.
If you can do it without missing, then we'll move on. Which
Little hole in the center, not the target. I'm working on.
you are not succeeding at the big target yet.
Hard to control that hose, baby.
We just need
Anyway.
urinals in our house. I mean, wouldn't it be great if we had
No.
like the
Yeah, by the way, if you
No.
think
You
of
can
it,
just stand
no,
back.
no, wait, listen. If
Boom.
you think about it, they've decided over the years that I just got something about urinals. They were like, men suck so bad. They invented a toilet that's this wide. And can
Yep.
you hit that fucker? Can you hit that?
Exactly,
And it's
exactly.
against the wall. Step up against it, please, because we're tired of cleaning up piss on the floor. How horrible are men that they had to invent? Listen, it's a wheelbarrow
It's just a
mounted on
wall.
the wall. Yeah, it's a wheelbarrow on the. That's the other one where they've got a wall with a fucking fountain. Just piss into the fountain,
With a
gentlemen.
trough.
It's a waterfall in a trough. That's how bad we are. I just got how horrible men are. Wow. We're just horrible, period. Sorry. And then after today with happened in Texas, I just go, like, how do we keep destroying women? Okay, we can't get them equal pay. We can't pass the Equal Rights Amendment. By the way, you're so freaked out all the time in how men treat you in society that you asked me to go into a rest stop bathroom with you to make sure no one was there waiting
I'm not
for you.
freaked out. I'm just being smart.
That's what I'm saying. That you shouldn't have to be like that. Like,
I actually thought today I want to get a locksmith over to the house, and I thought, I need not to have him come today. I need to wait until you're there. I do think about
right.
things in that way.
That's
for sure.
You shouldn't have to think about that at all.
That's programmed.
That's exhausting.
into you. That's exhausting. Women are exhausted all the time. And now today, oh, by the way, basically women should just do this at a singles bar now. They should just be like, guy comes over, how you doing, babe? She goes, sorry, can't sleep with you. Can't afford the legal fees. And just walk away.
Well, so
10,000.
yeah, it's 10 grand.
So
I'm going to need a retainer to sleep with you. I'm going to need
the
a retainer.
woman will have to pay their legal fees.
Yes.
If they win,
Yes.
if you decide to sue some people in
Right.
Texas, which you can. But if she wins, you won't have to pay her legal fees.
No, she
She still has to pay her legal fees.
Yeah, even if she
Are
wins.
you shitting me?
No.
What? That is such
Yalaban.
a...
It's
And
Yalaban.
if she's raped,
She has to rape and incest.
her
They
fault.
are in a parallel universe
and
over
she
there.
has to share custody.
Someone
of
pointed
that
this
child.
out. If a woman is
a
raped by her
rapist or
father,
her
if a
father.
teenager is raped by her father and aborts the baby, the father can sue that girl for 10 grand.
And legal fees.
What?
Yeah, and legal fees.
What the
The fuck is wrong with America? Like, when did we lose our shit like this? Like, it's the craziest time. And let's go down. We should actually go.
Can I just say something really quickly? Because you are generalizing, but the governor of Alabama is a female, and she's the one that has signed the most restrictive abortion bill into law. Her name's Kay Ivey, and they're saying that that's the worst ever, even worse than what Texas is doing, although Texas is really giving it a shot. But
Why are they
that's
trying
a
to-
woman.
Yet they don't want those
Well,
babies to wear masks.
Here's the thing. They know so what Texas did, and someone said on the radio today, was they went out of their way to figure out the loophole. So had they made it criminal, Roe versus Wade shuts that down in the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court really doesn't have any room, and that's been done over and over and over. But to go civil with it, they can actually now go. The Supreme Court go, well, civil,
Supreme Court didn't even hear it. They would have had to have done something by midnight last night,
and they didn't.
and they did nothing.
Thank God. Remember when they asked Amy Coney Barrett, law is settled law. It's settled law, is it? Because you
Right.
just let it go through.
Wow. And
Not necessarily by her own actions. There's already another case coming before them. Is it this month that's challenging Roe v. Wade? It's a big deal.
that
I'll
sounds like
look
a
it up.
money-making strategy. You know, if
I think
somebody's really...
what they're mad about is that they're mad about. Someone said I read something that because the morning after pill is sold at pharmacies now, that it is so prevalent that they're getting mad that they can't even track it anymore. That's why it's 6 weeks, because most women don't even know they're pregnant at 6 weeks.
Right. Nobody knows.
Right.
You're late.
Well, you
Whatever. When you're younger, it's like you never know when that's
you
going to
have
come.
a guess, though, right? It was like there's some kind of something happened.
Yeah.
So now
So you gotta go.
It just, I mean, yeah, sort of, maybe. No, at 6 weeks, you don't know. For
So
the
maybe
most
you just
part.
keep a bottle, like a big old pill bottle of morning after pills at your bedside.
I thank you for your
Yeah.
suggestions as well for what we should do.
No, I'm not.
Appreciate
I don't mean it
all
like
of
that.
your input. This is
just
why I
asking
didn't
what
want to
it-
even talk about
doing it,
this.
we're doing it.
You guys are totally
No,
doing
I'm
it.
trying to help. I want you trying to help.
Here's how we're gonna
don't-
fix you.
No, yeah, thank you. Oh, okay, thank you.
No,
We got all the solutions for you.
I'll mention
Yeah, I'll tell
vasectomies.
you, you wouldn't typically know at 6 weeks. It's hit and miss. You're late. But at that age, like in your 20s and stuff, you're not responsible enough to track it. You have no idea. And then you're like,
Yeah.
wait, something's missing. And then you're not,
I felt good for too long.
Yeah.
Something's wrong. I felt healthy and happy for a while now, and I don't
then-
want to kill people.
Any
in a good
crazy
mood for 2
clubbing
months.
nights pop into your head. You're like, oh, wait, what's the date? Hold on. Let me try and remember a memory that happened at the same time that I was on it the last month so that I can track the date.
While
I
I
mean,
was
that's
drunk.
what it's like. That's what it's like now that I'm an adult. I don't shoot.
Oh my god!
I try. There's these tracker apps, which I just think that's creepy and weird. So I'm not entering that information into an app. I mean, we're all
How
just.
does it measure? How does it measure?
You have to enter it whenever you get it, and then it starts.
fluctuates though. It's not
Counting
always
down.
on the same day.
Right, and but it tries to tell you what stage you're in. I don't know. I haven't looked at it because I'm not doing
It just
that.
reads your text. You're like,
and if
you're in a bad
doing
mood.
that,
It's
you're
not.
What was
weird.
that brainstorm meeting like? We need a new product. What if we tracked women's periods and gave them on their app? So I go, ding, set an alarm.
Don't we
do
have
you want-
calendars?
What do you want your alarm to be? Like who thought
It
that was
should
a good
actually
idea?
set your alarm. You should be like, oh,
Well, yeah,
shit.
yeah.
It's a partner app. It's not.
Partner, there you go.
Maybe it was started by
That's
a
a better
female.
idea.
I mean, like maybe because we do need that.
Oh, no,
we
I'm
need
getting
to
it.
know.
No, you just made
We
the-
especially need it now, I guess, because if you live in Texas. But I'm too weirded out by it. I'm not going to use it. But I do get that it's something that's needed.
But your husband should have it. You just said something brilliant. If I had the app that would give me a 4-day warning,
Oh, good. Oh,
I could start building.
how can we make this easier for you?
No,
Got it.
so I can make it easier for
So
you.
you go
Oh,
know
no.
when to go on vacation.
Oh no, so I
solo.
could so I could get her flowers and get her ready, start treating her really nice. Doesn't matter what you
I
do.
gotta work late tonight.
Does that? Yeah, exactly. There's a lot to do at the shop. You know what? I got to stay here. I got the camera on. You can see that I'm here.
I don't get angry. I just get really sad, and I'm like,
You're
everything's
also very
really
good about
hard.
going. You were saying, "Oh, I know why this is."
I really want to cry.
There we go.
I become very emotional about the bunnies.
Yeah.
Once a month, whatever. Yeah. So maybe if you live in Texas, you should use that app.
I also, and if I can quote Prince, girls, you need pussy control. I would just shut it down. Just shut it down. Every woman in Texas, no sex. You've got a lot of toys. Use those. Say, no, dude, get away. Nope. Sorry. Can't afford it. Can't afford it. Can't afford to have sex with you. Sorry. When this law goes away, we can have sex again. If every woman in Texas did that, holy shit, man. You want to talk about...
It would make you a lot more discerning about who you date. I could have used this actually.
Hell, you've been me.
Mass shootings
been
would go
like,
through the roof.
Not worth it.
No. Why? Because I don't want to go to court. What?
Put a dollar amount on dating you if it's worth it. It does change some things. Not you
That's a good
specifically,
point. 10 grand. Is this dude worth 10 grand and legal fees?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I do not believe it. And I have to interview a lawyer. No.
So the near total abortion ban in Texas has empowered any private citizen to sue an abortion provider. Also
so you can
opening the floodgates to harassing and frivolous lawsuits from vigilantes, which there are a lot of those ones that travel all over with the blood and the signs and all that. It's going to shut down all the clinics. That's all it's going to do, because if a doctor can get sued every time he does an abortion, they can't stay open.
And the reality, we've been joking, but the reality is a lot of women are going to get back alley abortions now. What's going to happen?
That's
is there's
the
gonna be a-
problem.
There's going to be a lot more women that are so basically what these fucking idiots don't even understand is now you're going to make it so even the women that don't die, they're going to never be able to have kids again.
Yeah.
So you're now ending any possibility. And the one thing I always say is, like, whenever people get like, I'm like, every woman I know in my past that has ever had an abortion and talked about it, it's not a party. No one's like, woo, you don't believe that. I got so many, I got a card. If I get one more, I get the next one free. No woman is stoked about it. It is a scar that lives with them for the rest of their lives. They look back on it with guilt and shame, and they're angry. And nobody is... And it's not a good thing. And like, it's like the thought process to go through it.
They're not like, I'll just get an abortion.
I think that's the point that I have made before and tweeted as well, that no one is pro abortion.
Right.
It's no one's like skipping out of that clinic like thrilled, light as a feather, so happy, no guilt. I mean, it doesn't happen.
That's why there's not a third choice at a gender reveal party. Boy, girl abortion. Here we go.
One of the most interesting segments I ever saw about abortion was done by Rachel Maddow, and she did a whole thing on George Tiller, who was called Tiller the Killer. He was from Wichita, Kansas. He was an abortion doctor. His father died, and he took over his practice. His father was an OBGYN, so was he. He takes over the practice and finds out that his father is performing abortions, and he is horrified. And the longer he's there, he learns that it's because his father was committed to saving the lives of these young women that were going to do it no matter what once they decided, and they were getting back alley abortions and dying brutal deaths. Right. And so he started performing them. And he was a Christian. He was actually shot in the head in church where he was serving as an usher and died.
I did a joke about this, actually.
He was wearing body armor because they had attempted to kill him years before, but that's why he did it. And his whole switch flip happened because he was disgusted and horrified at his father's legacy that he left behind. And then when he realized why he did it, and he met some of the women needing his help and the ones that had gotten help, it changed his whole life. And
someone else pointed out that this isn't going to be this in a weird way. If you look at it, it's another way to keep the poor down. Because what will happen is that women that are wealthy or are doing well
go to a different, fly somewhere else.
They're going to fly to California.
Get a hotel.
Get a hotel. They're going to stay. But women that can't afford it, so basically now you're I just don't get. Here's what I.
The true irony is, if you think about it, that the people that Republicans are most trying to suppress in their voting bills are Black people and brown people, and those people are typically in those states live in the greatest amount of poverty. Those are the people that aren't going to be able to afford to get an abortion if they do this law. Those are the people that are going to have more kids. Do you see how none of their stuff really syncs up? So there's that population is going to grow. In poverty, because that's where they keep those. And
eventually there'll be enough of them, and what will happen is they will vote your ass out. So basically,
just making more Democratic voters.
Between killing them with COVID and now creating more brown and Black people because of you're restricting their rights to have. What's going to happen is they're the dumbest fucking people. They're really dumb people. It's really
I sincerely hope that there is a Stacey Abrams type movement happening in Texas. I can only guess that she has been on the ground there and tried to recruit people into starting a grassroots program like she did in Georgia, because they need to mobilize people in Georgia, Florida,
Missouri,
Texas
Mississippi. We need the only way this changes, and I think we saw it more of. I think I had a word taught this week about in 2016 we all thought, oh man, Hillary's going to win, obviously. Everybody was telling us Hillary's going to win. We thought Obama got the country kind of settled. We have a great reputation worldwide. Unemployment's down. Everything's down. What could happen? Right? And so we don't need to worry about voting. And then we didn't vote, and a lot of people didn't vote. A lot of people did. I did, but a lot of people didn't. And we ended up with Trump. And in 4 years, Ray and I are always talking about, it's stunning how leadership matters. In 4 years, we lost, because of lack of leadership, we lost 600,000 Americans. We fucked our reputation up worldwide to the point where, like, we don't even know. We actually cost, he ran up the debt $7 trillion and tripled the trade deficit. And that's all leadership. Trump aside.
You look at any business, though, right? Like, we're dealing with heating and air people. And there you dealt with a very difficult woman, and you were very mad. And then you gave her my number, and she had another employee from there call me, and I thought I must have been speaking to the same horrible employee because the person I spoke with was horrible.
Right.
And I finally said, oh, you must be the one that spoke to my husband. He said he had problems with you. Well, it wasn't her. It was a totally different employee. And you said the other day, not even talking about politics, you said, isn't it amazing how it all comes from top down?
Right.
You can see, like US Air, back when US Air was US Air, how miserable their employees were. American and Delta, very happy, joyous, love their jobs.
America was great.
American and US Air merge. US Air takes over. They buy American, and it becomes the most shit airline. The employees were miserable. We were just talking to one of the American employees the other day about this.
Well, because it changed after the pandemic. So we've been flying again, and Americans great now.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, what's going on? And Delta got a new CEO who stopped all the humor. Like,
So there's
right.
But you do see a top down, and of course it's leadership. I mean, it exactly. You see like these people, these insurrection people, and January 6th Republicans and conservatives, that you can see they're kind of like those shitty employees that we deal with.
Exactly.
They've all been mobilized by this guy who was their leader, and I just wish that they would go back now. We're not there anymore. Let's go. Let's go home.
It's good news is it's drifting a little bit.
Are you sure?
I just heard polls on COVID. So a couple months ago, people were saying 36 to 40% were saying we will never get the vaccine ever. I will never get the vaccine. They did a poll this last week. Now that 36% is down to 20%.
Oh, wow.
And again, I think it's because people be dying.
Right.
People be dying.
Well,
so they died off. That's how the numbers are skewed.
So we know that 16% of the right-wing population has died off.
They just got removed from the equation.
I wonder, just like I told you guys last week, that DeSantis' margin has died more than that percentage. I wonder about Abbott's percentage. I just wonder because Texas is bad.
I think this abortion thing is going to make. I called it when I knew Trump was going to lose, and I have a feeling that we're going to see a blue wave go through the country in the next 8 years.
It's been trying to in Texas a couple times.
It's trying. Well, that's why they see it coming. That's why they're changing all the voting laws. I mean, they're like, all right, how do we make sure that nobody who doesn't like us can't vote?
By the way, this episode brought to you today by ButcherBox.
ButcherBox, yay!
Hey.
Ken got a little old ButcherBox today, eh?
He got a little bing.
Boom.
We slid him a little boom. We were like, hey.
We greased you with
You
the
owe me
ButcherBox.
some meat. Where's my meat?
Yeah. It's in the freezer.
With the horse head.
No, they don't carry that.
So we even had the other night. You cooked up that lean pork, and I got to be honest. I
gave
thought
you
it was
a couple.
Awesome.
They're like
I saw a chicken on top.
Yeah, it's not a chicken. It doesn't have a name. It's chicken breast. Yeah. They have. Why was there?
ButcherBox really fresh.
It has a name. It's chicken breast.
You open the box.
You could just back up against the box.
That's the butcher. That's the butcher part.
What was going on? As soon as we finish this ad, remind me to tell you a really bad version of a story. Can we tell Tactical Chicken?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we did, didn't we?
No.
Okay.
But remind me about Tactical Chicken. But anyway, so Ken got a little boom today. You were about to say we cooked their pork loin chops, and they're like 1.5 inches thick, and they're this big, and they come 2 to a pack. It's insane what.
And I'm not a big fan of pork in general, but it was really good. And I looked it up how lean it was. I thought I was pretty stunned actually.
You're not a big fan of it because you've never really eaten it. Yeah. Right. But these, it's super lean. When I was training, I could eat these really good. I grilled them with a little Tony's. You got steaks, ribeye steaks.
Steaks are stunning.
Hamburger meat is awesome.
It felt heavy. It was very heavy.
It's quite heavy. It's also frozen, so it's part of it, and it's meat. You can get 100% grass-fed and finished beef, free-range organic chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught lobster tails, which we have, wild-caught Alaskan salmon, and sugar nitrate-free bacon. But it's constantly expanding, so you have to go to their website and check it out because it's used to be like 8 things, and now it's like
And
scroll.
special stuff shows up. So check it
Yeah.
repeatedly if you like scallops or lobster tail. They have it, and then it's gone. So check it.
So once you sign up, you choose your box. You deliver. You can do your own or choose their pre-selected. You choose your delivery frequency. Right now, you can get 5 if you choose from 5 different boxes or custom. Then they ship your order frozen at the peak freshness and packed in an eco-friendly 100% recyclable box. You can get high-quality meat delivered right to your door. You don't have to leave your house, you guys.
And with COVID,
free shipping.
And until COVID's over, man, it's such a good thing. We got 2 boxes, and we put it all in the freezer.
This is we
So
feel rich.
If the shit breaks off,
Our Butcher Box delivery
we're good for a
came,
minute.
and we feel ready. We're like, we got this.
we have Armageddon meat. You ready?
That's right. We need Armageddon vodka. So Butcher Box wants you to enjoy the rest of the summer with this special deal. They're giving our listeners a special offer of 3 pounds of chicken breast, 2 pounds of burgers, and 1 pack of hot dogs for free. They have hot dogs. I didn't know that. Right now, new members can get this special deal when they sign up at butcherbox.com/Titus. That's butcherbox.com/Titus for free chicken, burgers, and hot dogs in your first box. That's a crazy deal.
Yep.
I know I say that every time, but I'm always surprised.
I'm excited. I'm excited to try it.
How do they afford that? It's crazy.
With the truffle on top. Truffle.
Oh, yeah. So you can report back next time we are here about what you've tried and what you like.
War in Afghanistan's over.
Yes.
So say what you will.
For some people.
Well, you know, I have such a weird mixed thing.
Speaking of pulling out.
Yeah, right? I have such a weird mixed thing about this.
Hey, boom.
Boom, a nice boom. We talked about some bucks, and then boom.
He's been asleep for a minute. Yeah, he was doing the baby thing. But then box, I'll accept that as well. But the pun king he's been asleep for a minute. Now he's back.
He's back. He's not doing this. He's not doing the side jobs anymore. He actually has energy back.
Are you done? Are you off side hustle?
Mostly. Yeah.
He's just not taking on the Odyssey side hustle. He's
Right.
he's taking on little side hustles. He's not taking on the Everest side hustle.
The epic.
The one that was more than the normal job. He's not taking that one on anymore.
Got it. Tactical chicken.
Oh, are we doing that? I was going to say we're in Afghanistan, then we do tactical chicken to wrap it up.
Well, tactical chicken went with the Butcher Box, but now that you've introduced war, all right, go ahead. We'll do tactical chicken later.
Okay, you have to help me with the tactical chicken story because I kind of remember.
It's so surreal. It's almost like it's
okay, so let's tell us. So one of our family members is an investigator, and they were on their way.
Homeland Security.
They were on their way to bust a trafficker, right?
They were serving a warrant for a pedophile.
Yeah, right. Who was putting up kids' pictures on, like he was doing live shows with kids.
His own children, 1-year-old. Yeah, there's a whole world out there that you don't even know.
No, but if I was a cop,
live video,
I would kill a lot of people,
and people were paying for it to watch live. Yeah. So serving a warrant, storming.
So all these cars are just hauling ass. They haul down. They actually bring in some other. The local area. They have to drive 60 miles, right, to get there. They call in other tactical from Homeland Security to get this guy because it's internet. It's federal. So now, they can get federal guys.
Several agencies.
So they all haul ass down there. And they get out and they get around, they surround the guy's house.
My brother said he was doing like 80 miles an hour to get there. Yeah, it's crazy.
So they're surrounding the guy's house.
They're surrounding the guy's house. Right. And?
Well, you know the story.
I was letting you tell it. Go ahead.
I want you to help join in.
And they start to hear noises like chicken.
And so there's all these guys in tactical vests, fucking bulletproof shit, and they look around and there's
they throw out rubber chickens.
There's a chicken walking. No, there's a live ass chicken walking around, and one of the guys that's on one of the squads goes, "Think that's my chicken?"
He says, "Is that my fucking chicken?"
He goes, "Is that my fucking chicken?" So he's got chickens at his house. So whatever happened was they think the chicken got up into his car.
He was on the grill.
He was on the grill. The chicken was doing 80 miles an hour, like
figuratively.
Holy shit! He just and this chicken is stuck to the guy's car, whether he was behind the grill or whatever. Guy didn't know it. But they're hauling ass 80 miles an hour to get to this thing. When they get there, the chicken's like walking around like
around the pedophile's trailer. And the guy who's aiming goes, "I I think that's my fucking chicken. And so the chicken they think was on the grill because there were feathers and stuff like that, because he said they would sit on his bumper, and he took off. So he thinks the chicken was spread out at top speed the whole way there.
Didn't know what to do.
So they had to go arrest this guy, take him in, process everything like that. And the guy did actually go back and get his chicken because he said
he knew his specific chicken. That was like for sure his chicken.
Oh, it's his. Yeah, so it's a pet. And he said because his wife would kill him if he didn't bring that chicken home. So he had to go back to the pedophile's house.
And he didn't know how to get in the car. He goes, "He's going to shit all over my car." He was really upset.
How do you get into...
And then one of the guys goes... one of the other... So there's a bunch of different agencies showed up. A bunch of different shops. And one of the guys was like, yo, man... who brought the tactical chicken? So you're done forever. You're done forever now. Like if you're that dude, that guy's gonna get beat on for the rest of his life.
That's a new question for the new trainees. Do you have a chicken?
Yeah.
No. How do you have a chicken?
You need to add that to a list of rules when you do take off on a high-speed chase.
Check for chickens.
Check for chickens. If you own chickens, they have been known to hang on to grills.
Gotta do a walk around.
Yep, like how you beat on the side of a car.
All right, gentlemen, I'd like to welcome cadets. There's going to be the things we're going to cover today that you aren't going to be used to, that you weren't taught in training. You need to check for animals stuck to your grill, specifically chickens.
Please welcome to Captain Chicken. Comes in, he's got a badge.
All right, you got to look for us, cuz. All right.
We got him surrounded.
She just loves that we're doing stupid shit.
This is like Roscoe Pico Train. His chicken is from Dukes of Hazzard.
I don't even know why we do this podcast. It's just stupid.
Dude, make your chicken talk again. Oh my God.
We got to call this one in, guys.
I got you for backup. Backup. We need backup.
I was just gonna say that, and you said it. If you didn't catch backup,
We're the dumbest people ever.
Oh, anyway, tactical chicken. Take care of your chickens, people. War in Afghanistan. This episode also brought to you by Harry's, our favorite company ever.
I'm sweating.
Because you should not have to choose between a great shave and having money in your bank account. With Harry's, you don't have to. You don't have to finance anything to get the razors out of the case.
Do you realize how many years now? And not because I use all their other products too that we don't advertise, but I have not had to go to a CVS or a Walgreens and ask a guy with a key to come unlock the razors. Bro.
Yeah,
and by the way, how bad were they getting stolen? How valuable are on the streets that people were coming in and stealing?
I thought the bad guys like to have a little scruff.
I don't know.
They're like, I gotta be.
It's just such a weird thing that I guess people
maybe they were selling them.
razors.
I don't know.
But Harry's is
I don't think that they ever give us
5
copy to advertise their other products because we do it anyway. I think they're like, no, they love our stuff, so they're going to advertise it no matter what. So yeah, Harry's, they have their own factory in Germany, so they quality control everything, which is what makes it so good. They stand behind it, 100%
satisfaction. Everything is perfect when it leaves the door or does not leave. We've killed many people because they have not made it perfectly. Hi, I work for Harry's.
No. We're going to get a call.
We don't kill them, but we do kill their career. These blades are not sharp enough. Unser body wash does not smell enough like cedar.
I needed to have swallowed that before. So right now, Harry's is giving their best offer to the Titus Podcast. They put here the Christopher Titus Podcast, but I disagree.
It's the Armageddon Update Titus Podcast.
Let me get to the promo code. That's where it gets really good.
Okay.
New Harry's customers can redeem an entire starter set. You get the 5-blade razor, the weighted handle, foaming shave gel with aloe, which is awesome, and the travel cover to protect your blades when you're on the go. That's $13 value. You pay $3 for shipping. There's never been a better time to try it. Just go to harrys.com/bombshell to try Harry's today. Try the body wash. Try the peppermint face scrub.
Gel.
Oh, he's obsessed with this hair paste. In fact, he's decided we have to send my sister some because he's
finally found the hair paste. I was with this other company for a long time, and I
found someone. No.
Harry's, your hair praise is the wind
Who knocks me
beneath
off
my wings.
feet.
Oh my God,
I
stop.
finally found the one
It's pretty
that
good.
makes me feel complete.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I don't know this
Oh,
song.
okay. Barbara Streisand.
Yeah, we don't know that.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh! Barbara Streisand. Ah, of course. All
Okay.
that Barbara Streisand knowledge that I have in my head.
Yeah, my
'Cause
mom
I look like
liked
a Barbra Streisand fan.
You do. Anyway, what else? Hair paste,
Ex-wife was
face
gay.
stuff.
Shave gel.
Nothing to do.
It's just a great company. Honestly, the razors are the best. 5 blades. We've done the commercial, but I just got to be honest with you, man. You guys, get on board. They're taking over the world, and there's a reason they're taking over the world. They're the best.
They really did kind of. A lot of people tried, and those companies have gone away without mentioning them. There were some that were advertising like a lot at the same time, and they just went away because their quality wasn't as good.
We had nobody. So everybody that on the road that used hair, I'm not making this up. Everyone who would come to us at shows and go, dude,
Yeah.
I got Harry's. You guys, and some people were like,
Yeah,
anti
it's
because you
legit.
talked about it so well. They're
Yeah.
like, I'm not buying your shit just because you say it. And these guys, they were like, hey, it took me 2 years, but I tried it. Holy crap! So we're good. And now I want to get back to Afghanistan. I have some weird I'm fighting myself on what I think about this, and I don't know how to deal with it. So I need your guys' help to talk me through this. This is a Titus therapy session on a world problem. Now, we got 128,000 turn the camera, asshole, so they can see that funny bit you're doing. 128,000 people out of Afghanistan. People that have helped us, people that were Americans, and now we're out of Afghanistan. And say what you will, you can say we left too early or we didn't leave soon enough. Bitch, bitch, bitch. But tonight, there's no Americans dying in Afghanistan. And that's the end result that Joe Biden did. Bush said we needed to get out in 2003. Rumsfeld said our actions are over. We didn't leave in 2003. Obama became president. In fact, fucking George Bush said, mission accomplished, is it?
Right.
It wasn't. Then Obama came in. We got Osama bin Laden in 2011. We did not leave. Now, the whole point to go into Afghanistan was to get Osama bin Laden and the guys that did 9/11. We got them. Done. We didn't leave. We stayed 10 more years. Trump said, we got to leave, we got to leave, we got to leave, we got to leave, we got to leave. Didn't do shit. Biden comes in, and in 230 days, we're out of Afghanistan. Now, what I think about that to me sounds like a win. It's not a win for the families that lost. We lost 13 soldiers.
Well, to be fair, Trump did sign the
True
exit.
that.
So you can't say he didn't do anything. It was towards the end of his 4 years of
He signed the exit,
chaos.
but can we go over the deal was? Because the deal...
No, because I think that we undermine our credibility when we can't acknowledge certain things.
So Trump
But
said we had to get out. But
I did just want to say one of my biggest issues is that the State Department is now confirming that they believe that we have left behind, quote, a majority of the Afghans who worked for the U.S. and applied for visas. Majority.
That's not okay.
That's horrific.
But I want to be clear. Because you say it doesn't undermine our credibility if we state facts. And the facts are the deal that Trump made with the Taliban was to release the guy who's currently the president
a terrible deal.
and 5,000 Taliban fighters that we currently had imprisoned.
Yes.
We had caught
in
them.
exchange for 1,000 of our...
And explain for 1,000. And he didn't go through the Afghan. There was no. So it was Trump and the Taliban, or Pompeo and the Taliban. The Afghan government was kept out of the whole fucking deal. So how do you do that? How do you keep the country that we're backing up out of the deal you made with the fucking Taliban?
I don't pretend...
No. I want to. I don't want to talk about what we're talking about. I want to talk about what you think about that deal.
I just said 20 seconds ago, I think it was a bad deal. I think that the dude, he's supposed to be the great negotiator.
It's the shittiest deal possible.
He's the most bankrupt,
Right.
terrible.
Yeah.
Like, he can't even negotiate his toupee properly. It's like, he's a joke when it comes to that. And so if I ever wanted someone to negotiate an exit, it would have involved a lot of former and current military.
Right.
High level officers, people who, it's what my stepfather said, what civilians think about it and what people who have actually been on the ground there think about it are two completely different things. One has no context.
Right.
And so I think it was a bad deal. I think that the sentiment was right, though, for him to want to get us out. I do. I know that part of me wants to then go, but he only did it for political reasons, but we can't do that. Whatever the reason is, he did it. It was poor taste to invite members of the Taliban to Camp David on the eve of 9/11.
I think that was who ran that.
I
through?
think that releasing 5,000 prisoners versus our 1,000 clearly illustrates how bad of a negotiator he is. And I don't know that I would ever think that that would be a good idea at all to release terrorists, 5,000 of them, because 5,000 makes an army.
Right. That's not right. And Trump had already cut us down to 2,500 guys there.
Yeah.
So we're fucked.
But I think where my issue lies is stuff like this and like I said, I don't pretend to know the ins and outs. I get that what Biden does, what Kamala Harris does, what General Milley does, General Austin, everybody, we don't know most of the details, and we never will. And they make choices for reasons, and I don't know what those are. But to me, it does just feel like we should have gotten our people out sooner. We should have started this visa process immediately when that deal was signed. Trump should have started it. It should have continued.
He actually stopped it.
I know, but do you see how fast you are to jump?
No,
on
Trump?
But Biden didn't either.
Biden wasn't president.
No, when he came into office. It's now September. So,
I don't want to argue with you about this.
Yeah, you do. Let's go.
I don't. You're actually giving some guy who fucked up everything credit.
See how you can't handle it?
I can't handle it. You know why? Because when he did do something good, and I haven't found it yet, I like even the company that he put in Warp Speed to develop the vaccine, they had to throw it all away. It didn't work. So I want to be clear. We told those people, Americans, like any Americans that are still there, you got told in May, we're pulling you out. Get out of Afghanistan. Make plan. Get out. And anybody that's still there, they informed everybody we were leaving. Get out. If you and I were living in Afghanistan and we got a note, and we got a note, you've got Wyatt in Afghanistan, and you realize, and we tell you in May, hey guys, we don't think this is going to go as well. But the Afghan government kept saying, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. We got this. Because we had trained their military for 20 years. Mm-hmm. They have all our equipment. It's going to be great. And they folded like crushing a water bottle. They didn't even do it. What I'm hearing is, what I'm reading is that the Taliban had already made deals with all these people or threatened them that if you guys, the forces of the Afghan army, we will kill you and your family. So the second this happened, when all these guys that Trump had let out started fighting, they just folded. They put their guns down and went home. They took their uniforms off and went home. And why did we spend 20 years there? Like Obama should have pulled out. I mean, I'm blaming everybody for this. I blame George W. for getting us into a country where, I talked about it last week, 14 of the guys weren't from Afghanistan.
We weren't supposed to be there in the fucking first place.
Yeah, right. And Bin Laden was in Pakistan. Yeah. We weren't even in Afghanistan. And then Obama stayed well after we should have. And Biden the entire time. That was one of the fights they had all the time, was Biden kept saying, we need to get out. What are we doing there? And Biden is the only president that has had a person in the military, a family member in the military in like 40 years. Mm-hmm. And so his son was like, Dad, what are we doing? We got to get out of here. He told Obama. Obama refused to do it. I blame Obama too. I really blame Trump for making the deal worse. And then, Biden, I don't know what, here's the thing. I like Biden, so I do get that I'm biased. I'll admit that I'm biased. I like this guy. I think he's doing what he said. And what he said yesterday in the speech, when he was like, listen, we're doing this. Anybody who thinks this could have gone better, you're wrong. That we got every plane out. No one shot any planes down. We got 128,000 people out by a deadline. Even the military guys were like,
no matter what, people would be mad. Just really hard to swallow those 13 people getting killed.
Agreed.
And also, because then once we really were like, oh, there is a threat, even though we said there was. Now they actually shot one down, right? That was coming in, like a missile or something.
Oh,
we
no.
actually
So what happened was-
intercepted.
yes.
So I just feel like we could have maybe been on that high alert the whole time. It's just devastating, the people that we lost. And when you go and read their stories, and it just does make me think of a young family member that I have that has just joined the Marine Corps. And it's just hard. And all those people that helped us for 20 years, and they're still there, and they're dead. They're dead.
Yeah, they're going to. There's reports already that the Taliban is taking these. But what do we do?
Taliban's what?
Taliban's already going after people that were helping us.
Of course. It's like, what do we do? I don't know, because I don't do this for a living, and I hate when people are like,
I'm a
I know
comedian.
what, yeah, I do. But in my thinking, just in practical thinking, it feels like maybe we should have sent over some additional troops, maybe. We should ask my stepfather this, who did stuff like this.
We did. We were up to 10,000.
No, send over additional troops, because obviously 2,500 wasn't enough. Disable all of retrofit our tanks and helicopters and things. Ship out our equipment that we weren't leaving with the Afghan military. Get and start evacuating earlier.
Or disable it so it was unusable.
Yeah, and start evacuating people early. Expedite this visa process. Have a holding place for them where they go while they're waiting.
See if they did the visa process, because again, they were told in May. You were told in May. You need to get out of Afghanistan.
I wonder if they, at that point, they couldn't do anything about that unless they had help from us, from the U.S., right? So even if the information,
if Ray and I would go to,
I'd be fucking
to Qatar or something, we'd get the fuck out. I'd be like,
if we were expats there,
we would have got out. But we think like that. We're like, oh, you and I but also
you and I always live like the lion is right behind us. I mean, even the way I sleep, any noise.
We don't have COVID. We don't have COVID. We never got COVID.
No, and we got a lot of meat in an outdoor freezer.
Yeah, that's right. So
we're the first to get killed, as Bill Burr would say in his bit.
Oh no, I'll just
Armageddon comes, we're the first to get killed, probably by him.
Yeah,
that's why you gave me some.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
he's got access because he stops by at the house and things are gone. But so yes, in a perfect world, everybody starts moving out. May, we actually put 20,000 troops back into Afghanistan, which sounds ridiculous. How many of those would we have lost? Then we go. So now we're at let's put 15 in. So 17,000 troops in to handle the Taliban that Trump has let out. So basically, our military was going to have to fight guys that they'd already caught and already put in prison because the American president prior let these criminals out. So those criminals are
just ramp up security around that evacuation.
Right. And then they closed down the airport. People said, but they said that airport didn't have the access. Again, I don't know everything, and I'm a comedian, so I'm just going to talk. But then they did surround this airport. We also had guys off to the side. The Taliban. So here's what he had to do. All right, Taliban's crazy as fuck, right? We know that they're evil. We know that they'll kill you. We know. So he was like, all right, don't hurt anybody. Get our Americans. And so that's how they got 127,000 people out in a week. It's
amazing what they did. I don't mean to put down on that.
Right, but it should have been done.
So I was looking in August, which was still too late. There, Joni Ernst from Iowa and Democrat from New Hampshire, Jean Shaheen. They were calling for the government for Biden to expedite these SIV applicants, because what did we put them into the system? Because the government works so efficiently and quickly.
It's amazing.
When you deal with the IRS or
any government agency, DMV,
Social Security Administration,
like that,
DMV, they're all just
just an app now. It's an app now. I'm registered. I got my new license. Wow.
So people saw this coming
you
as being
leave
a problem.
Afghanistan? Okay, fill out this stack of forms.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 45.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it would be number 5,555.
There's one employee in the
Yeah.
It is. And they're like this. Yes, can I help you?
You're right.
These people.
Yeah, I don't want to die here in Afghanistan because I helped the U.S. Okay.
I'll be right back. I'm going on my lunch break.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, they always have to. I went and got my real ID like some time ago because I was way ahead of the curve and I wanted to fix my ID. They put my middle name on the last name line and combined them in the magnetic strip. So every week I fly, because I fly every week, when they scan my card, it shows my last name is Bradley Titus, all one word. And it's not, and my boarding pass doesn't say that. And so they made me come back 2 different times. So 3 days I spent at the DMV, and I said, ma'am, the most important thing is that this magnetic strip does not have my name squished together. And she was like, I understand that, ma'am. You told me that already. So I was like, okay.
By the way, you were only really there for like half an hour, but you thought it was 3 days.
No, it was 3 days.
Just so
3 long mornings. And my ID came in the mail. That's why they mail it to you, so that they're not across the desk from you when you get it and it's all messed up, and it's still the same thing. So glad I spent all that time.
I have to gear up for the DMV. Like when I know I'm going to the DMV, I try to take and I don't take one thing anymore. I think, all right.
Yep.
How much shit can I get done?
Yep.
I pack snacks.
And then I go. I pack snacks. I take water, and I always drive up, and I steel myself for the line that's going to be out the door, and it's always a line out the door. I'm going to be here long. My shirt. My
it's a
phone
big
is charged.
red mark on the calendar.
I did find out,
exactly.
Because I haven't seen this time of day very often. But if you go at 7 a.m., you can get in.
What's that?
I know it's like. It's this time when we're all in hibernation that
it's dark out then. That's
no,
nighttime.
Guys, no, the sun still no. So the time between we all sit up all night and watch movies and TV or drink or whatever. You know that. So that time, and then when you sleep, when you go
and then have lunch, and then have lunch,
No, okay, yes,
wake up and have lunch.
Okay,
right.
So right in between bedtime and lunch, is something called 7 o'clock.
I don't have that on my clock. Do you have that?
No, if you look, you do. If you
There's
try.
I have never seen that on my phone.
Okay,
I have
so
never seen the
tonight
number 7.
when you go home, I want you both to look at your clock, because that's when you can go to the DMV and there's not a line.
So you have to. So would I have to go to sleep earlier?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, you would have to not watch 5 movies in a row. You would have to just bring that down to maybe 3.
This is why we don't have our periods.
That's right. Because binge watching.
Oh, you have them. Both of you. Trust me.
Binge watching. When did we start binge watching and we had to turn it off? Oh, we went back through Major Crimes, which you've already seen over.
Major Crimes. We just watched. We watched the 5th season. Major Crimes. There he goes. He's back. So we watched season 5 like a few months ago, and then we just season 4. Now season 6. We still have season 5. I don't know what we're doing. It's late and we're tired, but season 6 was very good on Major Crimes, gotta say.
Yeah, and so, but I got yelled at the night before for keeping us up late watching something else.
You didn't get yelled at. You got huffed at.
And I whined at. I was whined at a little bit. I was whining. I ain't going to sleep. If I don't go to sleep more than 3 o'clock, my whole day's over. Tomorrow's going to suck.
Every night.
You just need to go to sleep. Why can't you go to sleep?
See how different that is from being yelled at? And why are you laughing that hard?
Because his childlike voices.
Because of his childlike
I have insomnia
voice.
As it is. He will put on like
it's the lowest volume ever.
And
I can't
he
see
stays
shit
up
anymore,
all
but
night.
I can hear
you
like
can
a
hear
bat.
it with your eyes.
I can hear like a bat.
You can't hear like a bat.
Huh?
That's what he says to me all the time now. And I repeat it back to him. It's just like his
You're
Uncle
across
Dennis.
the house, and she's like, here's what I hear.
No,
What?
I'm right
Sorry,
behind you.
I hear this.
It's Phil
And then
and
she
Bobby.
goes, she goes, huh? And I'm like, great. So mock me. You can just tell me what you said.
Sometimes I will be in the middle of a sentence. I'll go, hey, babe, could you, huh? And I'm like, no, I haven't even said the sentence yet, Phil. Bobby. You're not giving away my water pick. This episode also brought to you by Cuts. Speaking of having something snuggly to sleep in, which those shirts are so nice, they are not sleep. You had one on yesterday when you came here, actually. It's the one that makes your eyes cling. Cuts.
Well, if I can I talk about how I like them?
Yeah.
Okay, so they fit.
Talk about what they are.
Let's just leave
What
it
is it? What is Cuts?
We could leave it at that. This is a company that came together with shirts that actually fit you instead of this weird boxy block that you buy as a t-shirt. When I put them on, I feel I have to be honest. I feel like I've worked out because I get that. I'm like, all right.
You do kind of look a little. It's because the cut is the cut is so nice. It makes your shoulders look more broad. It fits you well.
My boobies come out a little bit.
I don't know.
My arms are a little bit.
They're the Tesla of t-shirts, hoodies, polos, sweatshirts, and more. Those new t-shirts that you love, the one that makes your eyes glitter, are made from pica. Which means basically it's not going to fade. This is my opinion. This is not what they're saying. In my experience, after seeing these shirts, when you wash them on cold, they do not fade. They do not stretch out. Nope. They don't get saggy.
Lose their shape.
Yeah. And they stay just as soft. They don't get nubby. I love these shirts. I've stolen them a couple times.
So, you guys know that feeling when you put on your favorite shirt, when you you grab, this one.
Yeah,
and
today's going to be a good day.
Oh, that's going to be a good day. I'm starting out
well. What kind of errands can I run today?
Yeah, exactly. Who needs to see me in this?
I haven't seen her in a couple of years.
I have a bunch of t-shirts, and then I have like 7 or 8 cut shirts. And whenever I grab one of those and put them on,
the polo you wear on stage sometimes, that black polo, and that's really sweet too.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I stole the hoodie that you had.
Steal.
Love that. So they've been doing this for 5 years. This is clothing that can be dressed up or dressed down. Like I said, you sleep in them sometimes, and then you wear them to a meeting. Not the same. I mean, you do bathe in between, but that stuff is that nice, that high quality.
Sometimes.
So they're having a month-long anniversary celebration to celebrate their 5-year anniversary. They're doing it big with 2 collection drops, a product launch, and a week-long special event, which I really want to know about. Go to cutsclothing.com/Titus to get 25% off site-wide during the anniversary sale. That's 25% off site-wide at cutsclothing.com/Titus. That's CUTS.
I'm going to have to go back in and get some more stuff.
Yeah, it's what he said. He needs to go and just buy all these t-shirts and replace any other ones that aren't cuts, because finding a company that doesn't, you get it out of the dryer, it's not wrinkly, that doesn't fade, that doesn't stink, that doesn't stretch out. you know, sometimes men's clothing holds a little.
I work out. Sexy Anna. Boom, boom, boom.
And we just put our laundry just straight into the dryer.
Sometimes.
Whoa, I got
People
it.
used to say weird stuff about
just heat it up.
You gave them the code.
Yeah,
right?
so cutsclothing.com/Titus, 25% off is an awesome deal. Already their stuff is super affordable, especially for the quality.
So years ago, and I don't know if this is true, someone said you don't have to wash jeans, which already my interest is peaked in a weird way.
You can freeze them?
Ew.
Are you going to do the freeze thing?
No, I'm not going to do it. Is it work? Is it real?
Supposedly it kills the bacteria, but I personally, I think we all know I could never handle that. First of all, putting your
what kills the
ass
bacteria?
Ball rubbed, stinky jeans in
your
the freezer,
right?
And then not
especially your balls.
washing them.
Like she said, I couldn't do that. Putting your jeans,
it's
ball
gross.
rubbed.
Don't do it. Let's all agree that none of us.
Let's leave that for Ashton Kutcher.
Yes.
We'll let him and what's her face do it.
I've heard that a lot, and especially if you have black jeans that you love,
right,
and you don't want them to fade or dark blue. But my solution is I buy RIT dye. They don't advertise on this podcast, but you can get it at CVS. It's like $3.99, and you re-dye your black jeans.
It lasts about 10 washings.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but I'm super obsessive about stuff like that, so I'm worse. I think we can all agree I'm a little extra
uptight
on
sure.
stuff. Shut up. I didn't say uptight. I said extra.
See that you had to repeat that and get it right? You couldn't just go, yeah, you're right, yeah, uptight. Yeah,
oh, no, I'm going to deal with you on saying uptight. Trust me. I'm going to deal with you on that.
Man, see that I live in this.
I like jeans to be black. I don't like it when they turn gray.
So you got in the freezer. There's a butcher box, and then there's jeans.
Yeah.
No,
that's what,
I just heard.
Mix them up.
I've never once went. That sounds like a great idea. I always went. Ew.
I get that.
I always went.
I did. I have read about that. Let me see.
That sounds like some ivermectin shit.
Definitely. Jeans in the freezer. Horse dewormer, and then hydroxychloroquine. Yeah, you're right. Those 3.
People speaking of hydroxychloroquine, that's your new show. You do say that in your new show, and you're going to be doing that tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday in Ontario.
Ontario Improv,
I will be there as well. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to be in Denver at the Comedy Works. Finally, after 2 long years, we're going back to see Wendy and Jeffy. I am looking up on Smithsonian Magazine the myth of frozen jeans.
Does it say the myth? Does it say the myth?
Smithsonian does.
What did
This
Snopes
guy
say?
says this man
Sounds like
is an expert on frozen microbes who wrote to us from Antarctica. He said most of the bacteria
Checks out. Frozen microbes. Checks out. Antarctica.
he said many of them are pre-adapted to survive low temperatures. It only takes one survivor to repopulate your genes when they warm up. Oof. Why would you? He said the bacteria would live on your genes on the slough, skin, and dirt nutrients. Ugh. Why? Why wouldn't you guys just wash your pants? It's all just agree to wash our pants.
Just zoom in. They're
By
just
the
on
way,
the slopes.
just this phrase "repopulate your genes" is the weirdest phrase ever. That's my least favorite phrase in the repopulate.
Plus, you know, like,
so they're there.
Yeah.
you know that kind of
But
sour.
it's like, shh, it's kind of cold. Shh. I hate that. At least we got seasons. Shh, all the microbes are out. See, there's because the genes are in the free.
And they're happy they have
And every once in a while you open the door and the sun's out again. It's been a long winter.
They also say you can freeze your makeup to take bacteria off of it, but why not just throw it away if it's old? Let's agree to do that too. All three of us.
Anything that'll maintain a microbe, I don't want it. He says as a biological thing that
you know
walks
that
the earth.
smell that your laundry basket gets when it's all piled together when you have a guy living in your house? You know that smell? If you don't know that smell, you are that smell.
I don't know what.
You're two guys.
And
He
I'm
lives
not
with a
immune
young
to
one
it.
house.
He lives with his son, who's what, 10, 11 now?
Might
He's
as well
11
be
now?
Puberty. He doesn't smell at all. We don't smell.
Oh,
no.
my God. I would not. We are
right.
not going to. Hey, you want to come in? Nope.
People
I'm
have
just here
passed
to
out
pick
at the
you.
front door, but
No.
I just felt like they was coming up the steps. They were tired.
I forgot you don't have a female there as your barometer to say, okay, too stinky, guys. It's time to do this laundry and wash this part.
She did say she couldn't breathe, so
But
maybe
she's gone
she
now.
wasn't being smothered. It was the smell.
No, she was smothered. She was 100% smothered by a person with a penis. which
Why wrote
she
a whole
did
bit
not
about
want.
about my son? What is that smell?
He's at the age. Wyatt is at the age when you
What
wrote
is
that bit
smell?
about your
Oh,
son.
yeah.
Where you're like, dude.
His
premium.
he is an entire armpit. His whole
He
body is an
yeah.
armpit.
Yeah, yes.
Their heads,
Just oozing ugly.
Yeah.
their heads have oil, and that's where a lot of the smell comes from because the oil is extra secreting. And so one day after his kids left, I couldn't take it. It was actually out of his daughter's room. I couldn't take it. And like, I have a super sniffer, like Gus on Psych. So I went into her bedroom and she had these massive drawers underneath her bed on both sides. I emptied all 4 of them into the laundry room and did all of her clothes in hot. I didn't even care. I was just like, and the smell went away.
I'll tell you what really smelled. When I used to visit my ex-wife, she was a teacher, and she taught teenage
Oh,
kids.
my God.
The classroom was like, why does that smell like bad breath and dirty hair the
All
whole
the time.
whole
Yeah, there's-
time?
and feet, like,
and she would
what?
come out, and I'm like, oh, what? You stink.
How do you
But she didn't
mix-
notice it.
Oh, because she would get used to it.
I used to go when I would go to my ambush parent teacher conferences, and I thought that too. I run in the hall like,
Yeah, the
Are they leaving
classrooms.
their shoes in here and just?
What about when you pick them up from school? The smell of preschool is, and then the smell of elementary is like, and they get in your car and they don't smell it, but they
Yes.
are it. Oh,
Yeah.
I used to hate that. Oh, life is so much better
turd
now.
does not smell itself. It just goes, I'm a turd.
That's Ken and Wyatt.
Come on in, everybody.
Are you dating? What's going on?
No, I'm not. Not dating right now.
Are you on an app?
My place smells fantastic.
Oh,
right?
I was
It
gonna.
smells
Oh,
like-
right. We should clean that up.
Yeah.
Literally, ladies. His house really smells great. Ken smells great. He has meat in his freezer.
I use Harry's deodorant.
He has. Oh, he likes the deodorant. I want to try that actually.
It's pretty good.
For my whole body. Like it's not even.
What
And
else?
Wyatt.
What else could we say?
He uses a roller. He actually does a paint roller.
Yeah.
Why don't
shaves it
you
into-
let Christopher set you up on a dating app? Let him write it.
I don't even know what a dating app is.
Like how
I mean, I know they exist.
we put my stepfather on
Oh, on
farmersonly.com,
farmersonly.com, yeah.
and then you wrote a song about it.
Sorry.
And then see what happens.
Yeah, he got a lot of. There was an old lady named Pink Cheetah in the Ozarks that would
there was
not
some
stop
people
emailing
She
him.
sounds
He
fun.
wasn't super thrilled after that went on for a
He
while.
liked boot scooting and booty hooting.
See, he knows how to write an ad,
Booty hooting. I don't even know what that is, but boy.
and he named him Zeke Klamath.
I busted out laughing on the last Armageddon update just when he said boot scooting, the boot scooting states. I got to hold it in back there.
That was from his song he wrote called Boot Scootin' and Booty Hootin'. He has a song with guitar. He has a full song.
Yeah, no, he knows what a
So
song
why
is.
don't you do that for him? Like, you know how you're good at writing and ads?
He's pretty. Yeah, we could do some graphics and stuff. We'll get him with a martini glass and a tuxedo.
Yeah.
We'll just do graphics.
A lot of chest hair.
No.
It's all meme. It's chest hair. We'll just
do
Photoshop
like
it, grow it into his beard, like it's just from his beard to his chest
Okay,
hair.
never mind.
I'll do
Never
the Burt
mind.
Reynolds pose.
Never mind.
We're on this.
I changed
Whatever
my
you
mind.
want.
I want him to have a date.
I can get a date. He wants to find a good girl.
I was
Miniature
gonna say-
remote. Isn't
Actually,
that part
that
of the
could-
thing?
Yeah, miniature remote. Remember, mini remote. It's part of
Oh,
it.
right. See, that could ruin our lives, though, because women like Yoko everything. They will, don't date. Actually, this is way better. I've changed my mind. Let's do
All
it
right,
for
then.
us. Let's move on. What were you going to say?
Any news you want to talk about?
No.
And that concludes our.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the end of it. I want to say this. Biden did. We're getting used again to someone who's normal. And the problem when you get used to somebody who's normal, you don't notice it anymore. Biden got out and he gave a speech. He was pretty harsh about it, but he did say, I take responsibility. This is my thing. I own this. And he got him out and he said, we did a good job. And if you think there's a better way to do it. And then the military came out and said, this is the biggest troop movement, the big movement of people at airlift ever in American history. Pulled it off. We didn't lose a plane. We did, and again, I do understand that these guys blew up 13 of our soldiers, but the last thing the military wants, the last thing Biden wants, the last thing anything wants is those guys to get hurt. And the next day, within 24 hours, the guys that planned it were fucking dead.
I did like how
fucking
quickly he handled that.
And then they got news that another bunch of dudes with a bomb were coming, and they shot that. They killed that with a Predator drone before it got
That's
to
what
the
I
airport.
meant. I just felt like although I guess it was
We
a
should-
suicide bomber. So
Yeah. Well, the only problem with that, when they blew that bomb up, the secondary explosion of the bomb going off killed 10 Afghans.
well, that's
So-
the thing. It's like you're dealing with such an impossible situation.
Yes,
And people that are not only willing to die for their cause, but want to because then they get all those virgins, which just sounds exhausting.
American foreign policy always bothers me because we always think the fucking hubris to go in and go, okay, this fucking country that nobody could fix.
This is how you're going to live, okay?
Yeah.
This
English,
is how you build the
Russian,
roads.
Exactly.
All right, we're gonna change. You know the shit you believe for a couple thousand years. We've got some shit that we've been doing for a couple hundred. You're doing that now.
Right.
We are. Yeah. No. And so no one ever loves invaders. That'll never happen. You're never seen as liberators if you're an invader. You cannot change a society that's 10 times older than the one we currently are trying to sell them.
Yep.
And then we had does anyone have a history book in the fucking White House? English,
Seriously.
Russians, the Russian at the height of their power couldn't take over Afghanistan.
Didn't Biden say that we're not going to go into war unless our lives are at stake?
He did.
Didn't
He
say
said
something like that?
He said yesterday. He said we will not do this again unless it affects American interests. Americans' interests. And so, he meant more like, he goes, there's no reason for us to be in Afghanistan. There is no interest for America there, Okay. And so I think I don't know, man. It just seems to me that it was a dumb move in 2001 when it happened, to go to invade an entire country. And what we should have just done is just found Osama bin Laden, and it shouldn't have taken 10 years. we tried. I mean, our guys tried so hard. I mean, when I was over there, I saw those guys in Iraq and stuff, and I would ask them, I go, do you guys know why you're here? Once Iraq was kind of calmed down, I said, do you guys know you're here? And they would just burst out laughing every time. They were riding around a Humvee with them. They're like, no, man, we don't fucking know what we're doing.
Just pacing around an opium field. Right?
You know, in Afghanistan, same thing. I mean, Afghanistan was a war, and those people, like you said, you can't fight a bunch of people that don't give a shit if they die. You can't. There's no. Okay.
I said that was like being in court with your ex.
Yeah.
A suicide bomber. Family law suicide bomber. You can't win with those kind of people because it's Trump. There's no bottom. Yeah. They don't care.
If they'll burn
it all
down. If they'll burn themselves down, there's nothing you can do. And I'm just glad that so many guys have come in. Obama, when they were running against George Bush, we got to get rid of Afghanistan. We got to get Afghanistan. Didn't do it. Trump, we got to get Afghanistan. Didn't do it. Biden came in 230 days. Did it. And like you said, I mean, I don't know. It's such a clusterfuck. I mean, as I said last week in the Armageddon update, Afghanistan is such a cosmic clusterfuck, and it always has been. I don't know. Yes, in a perfect world, we sent 10,000 troops there. We walked everybody out one at a time. All the paperwork was done on time, and nobody dies. But that wouldn't have happened in any situation. These guys are fucking nuts.
I really shudder to think how it would have gone under Trump. Well, we at least do try and observe some levels of respect and customs and things like that. I mean, just imagine the contention that would have been happening under Trump.
Right.
How many more people would have died?
The Taliban would be here. We would be, right? It would have been the opposite.
Yeah.
He would have invited them over here.
He did invite them. He invited them to Camp David on the eve of 9/11. That he invited him. That was when I was one of those things. I never liked the Trump administration. I always thought they were crazy. Jared and Ivanka should not have been part of any of the decisions.
Junior.
But I remember thinking that who's getting this fucking who's like that's a good idea like who it wasn't even just him.
Yes
we got he was nutty. But what is the chain of command that went, yeah, Taliban, 9/11, good fucking idea. Let's do that.
Just a bunch of sycophants.
That's why I always think it does feel a lot like was it Wag the Dog?
That movie, Wag the Dog.
It just did feel like they were I kept waiting for all right, guys, everything was so ridiculous.
All the time.
Like that. Like you couldn't have picked a worse day to invite the Taliban but everything was like that, right? I mean, how many other things were we like, come on.
Yeah.
How do you not
remember
know?
The ball thing? Remember, it was like a movie scene. Remember when he went to Saudi with the king?
Was weird.
And they had his hand on the
orb?
Oh,
yeah.
What the fuck was that? Like, and he's looking off like this. Like, what are you looking at, dude? What is going on? The orb of power?
And his base is all about, they're coming, the New World Order. Like, isn't that?
Yeah.
Your guy
but that's what's
leading
going
it.
on. But that's what's going on now, right now. All the Republicans do is say the Democrats are going to take your rights away as the Republicans take your rights away. It's crazy to watch.
As you're not allowed to be a female in Texas.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yes. Well, you are allowed. Just pay it. Yeah, you pay attention, do what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
And you bear all
you
of
make
the
babies.
responsibility.
That's how my house works. I tell her to do it, and she does it.
Yes, we can all tell.
I knew it was going to be perfectly this tone. The tone was perfect. Yes, that's what happens.
You handle your own. We tangle. We wrestle.
Well, I like to wrestle with you.
We panty wrestle in the living room.
Oh, baby, man, don't panty wrestle. Get on, man.
Elvis loved a good panty wrestle.
Make me a peanut butter sandwich and get some panty wrestling going.
Your Elvis is always so creepy. So creepy. So come and see us tonight, tomorrow,
Guys,
Sunday, Ontario. We're both doing all new material. And then Denver, I think I'm headlining the 15th and you're doing the 16th, 17th, 18th. All new material,
you have to write
both
a
of
bunch
us.
of material.
Yay. Great. Still trying to break in the other. Yeah.
We're going to set and then on the 25th, September 25th, you guys can see all of our new stuff here. You can see it online if you don't want to go out yet.
If you can't travel to see us or whatever.
The good news is they're saying that the COVID thing is still 160,000 cases a day, but but it is starting to do this now. So, which is good. I mean, it's starting to level off. But we still have a long way to go.
Until cold season comes, which is upon us.
It's until November. And then...
So this new one is called Titus and Bradley, It Ain't Over Yet. And it's going to be a little different. It's not all sketches like the other Titus and Bradley. It's going to be...
mostly stand-up.
Our stand-up, both of our new shows, and some sketches. And you just had a great idea for one today that
we're going to do.
Really quite enjoy.
We're bringing back some characters.
We are going to bring some back. So see which characters make the cut. We have some favorite ones that we love. So, yeah.
So guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Go to Christopher Titus TV for all our videos. The Hylinder's going crazy with putting out some of our great clips. Go there. If you want any DVDs, T-shirts, whatever. There's a new T-shirt out, by the way. It's the Zero Side Effects tour shirt. On the back it says, "Now we need to invent a vaccine for stupid." Those are you can order them now.
And you can get those tickets for Titus and Bradley on ChristopherTitus.com, CombustionLive.com, or you can grab them at Eventbrite, Titus and Bradley 3.
And we're gonna have an audience here this time, so which is going to be cool. Go to ChristopherTitus.com if you want to get anything. And for myself, the lovely Bombshell and the Hylinder. Later.
Peace out. I would like a classic blues.
Classic blues.
Oh, wait. Oh, you got it.
You're there. I'm just starting.
There you go.
There could be only one Hylinder. Titus Podcast. Titus Podcast.
That's the chicken.
Chicken.